But that was not all he gave us. He didn't just give us his son. Bible tells us in the book of 2 Peter now. Can you look at it, chapter 1, verse 3 and verse 4. Look at what else God gave us. 2 Peter now, chapter 1. Thank you, Lord. Look at this. It says, according as his divine power had also done what? Had also done what? Given unto us what? All things that pertained unto what? Life and godliness through what? The knowledge of him that has called us to what? Now give us verse 4. He said, whereby are given unto us exceeding great and precious what? That by this ye might be partakers of what? Oh my God. Having escaped the corruption that is in the world through what? So God has given us things that pertain to life and what? And can I tell you something? The system through which we access all of these things is called faith. Somebody say faith. Yeah. God has given us things that pertain to life. So a believer should never be stranded. A believer is not confused. A believer is never at the mercy of the systems of the world. No, sir. The believer has truly come to a point of advantage. Receiving the life of Christ, believing in the death, the burial, and the resurrection of Jesus has brought you to a point of victory. Experientially. Am I communicating this house? Absolutely important. You have to understand this. And he says he has given you all that pertains to life and to what? To godliness. Now, our challenge as believers is found in the book of Hosea chapter 4 verse 6. The first two words, there are things that break my heart every time I see them. First two words. He says, my people, not the strangers, not a heathen, not people that are confused, not unbelievers. He says, my people. God is speaking from a point of pain. God is speaking from a point of lamentation, from a point of sympathy. He says, my people are destroyed for lack of what? Knowledge. He said, nevertheless, the posture I take, I can't help them at this point. If they reject knowledge, I will reject them from being my priest. Psalms 82, a scripture many of us are conversant with now. It says, because they know not, let you understand. It says, all of you are sons of the Most High, but you're going to die as what? As mere men. So God's system in the earth to bring the believer to victory is faith. Nevertheless, you must understand this. Faith has a methodology around it. He says in Matthew 13 verse 11, he says, it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom. Is that true? He says to others, I can speak to them in parable, but for you, it is given unto you to understand the mysteries of the kingdom. You must come to terms with what happens, that your faith is not just a system to make you feel spiritual, to make you feel mushy on a Sunday. No, sir. Your faith is how you truly rise to a system of victory in the earth. That is what God has given to you to bring victory to the earth realm. He says the just shall live by his faith. The economies of the world are dwindling to a close. Somebody said that the year is January, February, COVID, Black Lives Matter, NSAS, and December. Are you saying the same thing? He said the just shall live by his faith. He said when men shall say that there is a casting down, thou shalt say. It is at that season that you're going to declare that, oh my goodness, there is a lifting up. Have you seen it? That's Job 22 and verse 29. Have you found this for yourself? Or you're bound by what is happening in the world around you? You're in tears, you're in despondency, you're moving from pillar to post confused. No, that's not how God designed you to live. We heal in this kingdom by faith. We walk by faith in this kingdom and not by sight. We judge by faith and not by sight. We love in this kingdom by faith and not. Everything in this kingdom is through faith. The Bible tells us that whatever is not of faith is sin. Everything in this kingdom is gotten through faith. I hope you know that even what is called the grace of God, or which has brought all of us to a place of common belief in God now, I hope that the grace of God is only delivered to us through faith. Paul speaking tells the Christians in Ephesus, he says to them emphatically now, he said it is by grace you are saved through faith. Through faith. Through faith. Through faith. And when it comes to faith, sense of God, there are systems, there are dynamics as to how faith works. For very many of us, today's teaching would become the opener. It's just the part one actually. It's going to become the opener to how God will have you come into a system of victory, consistent victory. And as you take note of the things you're going to be saying today, the systems, the various dynamics of faith, you will find that you will know at what point you have been having issues in your walk with faith. Because I hope you know very importantly that God has not at any time asks the believer to figure out how to grow through faith. Hope you understand that. You can't be that confused.